Part of our successful team, visit Laitram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
It's Angus Young from AC/DC performing George Benson's On Broadway. We now head to La Jolla, outside San Diego. It's number 9, Drew Brees. He's right. It is indeed New Orleans. Corey Johnson back at you. Cha-ching, a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. The name pretty much says it all. It's Fantasy Friday. That's right, the weekend's upon us. If you're watching on YouTube or on Cox Channel 4 statewide right now till 5:30. Spectrum Channel 333 statewide till 5:30. If you're checking us out live, watching the program, you can see I'm kind of grinning. I'm smiling, fired up for Friday, for the weekend. Thanksgiving weekend was great. Don't get me wrong, 4 days. But boy, the 4 days flew by fast. I'll tell you that much. We'd be like on Sunday morning already if it was last weekend, right where we are on Friday. Thursday and Friday were like a blur. I don't even remember that last week almost. And then the weekend went by faster, it seemed, than a normal Saturday, Sunday. What the hell do I know? I know it was 4 days. I couldn't wrap my head around it. All of a sudden, it was Monday and back to work. And I love what I do. I'm fortunate. I like my job a lot. Look forward to doing it. Topics popping up all the time. But still, it's work. And I could win the lottery and I'd be doing this. I got buddies that are retired. They don't really know what to do with themselves. I got buddies that are retired that end up doing more work maybe than when they were working. Anyway, it is a Fantasy Friday. The weekend is upon us in an hour. The 5 o'clock power hour on a Fantasy Friday. We will blow the 5 o'clock whistle. It just puts the spotlight on a certain time of the week, a little after 5 p.m. Wink, wink on a Friday. No, the work week's done. The weekend smack dab in front of us. I like putting the spotlight, smelling the roses, that sort of thing. Yeah, it is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Nice sunny day. Don't let the blue sky fool you if you're indoors looking out of a window and you got the heat on and it's, 70 degrees and toasty in your house or warmer. Got the fireplace going, throwing logs on the fire. It's cold outside. It's cold out there, like 52, 53 and dropping. Peaked out about an hour or so ago, going to go down around 41, 42 tomorrow morning when we wake up. If there's a wind blowing like this morning, that was crazy. Temperatures around 20 with the wind chill on the North Shore, below freezing on the South Shore with the wind. Temperatures a little above freezing on the South Shore, below freezing on the North Shore, the actual temperatures. No, still cold this afternoon, like 52, 53 degrees. And colder, obviously, on the North Shore. Tomorrow, we'll wake up to about 42. And get up to about 59. We may not hit 60 degrees tomorrow, so 40s and 50s tomorrow. Sunday, 50s and 60s. We might get to 70 degrees on Sunday. And then rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday expected. Who knows? This is what those meteorologists say. They're pretty good, actually. The science is getting so much better and better and better. Just huge leaps and bounds. I mean, especially like hurricanes. What used to be a 1 day out is now like 3. And what used to be like 3 a decade or so ago is now like a 10-day forecast. And they're right a lot of the time. And the spaghetti models, it's just genius. You have a bunch of outlets giving you their prediction. I don't know how you go wrong with that. And then you have a European model. So there's, 20, 30 U.S. models, 20, 30 European models. No, weather is getting better and better. And when they kind of locally, I mean, they can be like, it's going to rain 5 days out and we'll get a little rain like 5 days out sometimes. They're almost as good as the bookies in Vegas. It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. That means Fridays with Fletch in less than 10 minutes. Is this a promo or a warning? In less than 10 minutes, Fletcher Mackle from WDSU Channel 6 Sports. No, I love getting Fletcher on because I like busting his tail, his chops. We're contemporaries. We're Yaddy New Orleanians in this business. And we both like to talk and have opinions, so I got to bust his chops a little bit, and I usually take a little from him. More me attacking him, though, and that's fun. Anyway, Fletcher Mackle from Channel 6, 20-something years in the business, knows what he's talking about, knows the facts, is a journalist, but gets today's, modern media and social media and opinions, and is not scared to give opinions. And they're usually fact-based and experience-based, not trying to just stir the pot. Sometimes he does because that's how he actually feels. Anyway, Fridays with Fletcher Mackle in about 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, for about 10 minutes or so. Around 4:35, in about 20 minutes or so, Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc. will join us. A lot to discuss. I want to ask him about this meta incredible Grand Slam home run that Jeff Landry and his economic folks pulled off in Northeast Louisiana, one of the poorest areas in the state, one of the poorest areas in the country, getting a incredible multi-billion dollar, I mean, some say like $10 billion, 4 million square foot Meta AI facility. We'll talk about that. Plus, UNO down to 6,200 students, $15 million deficit, kind of blending 5 colleges into 2, trying to cut corners. UNO should be a powerhouse university and an economic powerhouse for the city, drawing in folks from around the world to come live and study in New Orleans. Are you kidding? And just another huge positive that we let flounder. Just a tremendous asset that we neglect and overlook. It's kind of mind-blowing. I never hear the mayor or the city council, anybody doing anything pro-UNO. I don't get it. I really don't. Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc., 5 o'clock Power Hour. James Beard award-winning chef Frank Brigsten's going to join us. What a lineup. Audubon Gutters. AudubonGutters.com. Why would you even consider going anywhere else but Audubon Gutters for your home or business? Over 30 years in the business, they happen to be the Gulf South's largest, most experienced gutter installation company. And gutters, that's all they do. They don't do roofs. They don't do siding. They don't do painting or windows. They don't do any of that. All they do exclusively gutters for your home, for your business. Audubon Gutters. AudubonGutters.com, featuring the Leaf Guard system. I'll literally never, ever have to clean my gutters again. I have Audubon gutters on my house with the leaf guard system. AudubonGutters.com. AudubonGutters.com. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, you right. You heard the lineup. Fridays with Fletch, Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc., Super Bowl countdown and more. Frank Brigsten talking food. Yummy. Yummy. How about Lebanon's Cafe? That's in Brigtsen's neighborhood. Over there by the streetcar barn, Carrollton at Jeanette. Outdoor dining on an afternoon like this, and they're open right now. They open at 11 in the morning. They go straight through till 9:30 at night, 7 days a week. They're always open. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette. Get some shish kebab. Get some lamb chops. Your favorite Middle Eastern sides. Priced right, large portions, authentic, fresh. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home. Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Hey, you might be running your heat and you're discovering that it's not working right or making a funny noise, or worse, not working at all. Don't freak out. Don't stress out. Just take care of the problem with the pros at Total Maintenance. In New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, Total Maintenance is there. Honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. In New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. Online, tm-ac.com. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. You need the heat. It's cold out there. He usually brings the heat if he's pitching on the mound or if he's doing a sportscast at Channel 6. It's Fletcher Mackle.
So I guess at some point all that was true. I don't know if it's true anymore.
Well, that was a pretty good intro, wasn't it, besides the corny voice?
It wasn't bad. It was better than some of your other ones that are just, I don't want to say awful because I don't feel like they're awful, but, real quick, just clarification. Hey, Fletcher Mackley chained the doors at the old folks' home and then lit the building on fire. That's not awful? Yes, anything is better than that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so, for the nice intro.
Arson, things of that nature, theft. We like connecting you to those things. They're farcical. They're so ridiculous. They're funny, I think. But what do I know, Fletch?
Yeah. So.
What do you wait? Now, what do you think they're funny, or you're saying, what do I know?
I'm saying, what do you know?
Yeah, I bet. All right, you ready to jump into it? Because we got a lot to cover, and we don't have all that much time.
Let's go. Knock it out.
All right, you're the sports director, so I'm assuming we would start with the Tulane Green Wave. They've got a game tonight. As a matter of fact, you guys have a Tulane pregame show on Channel 6 tonight, right?
Now you're in my wheelhouse. Thank you for letting me pub WDSU. Yes, and it's actually pretty great. I got to admit, I don't usually say things like that, but it's a pretty great pregame show. 6:30 WDSU, Tulane in their third straight American Athletic Conference Championship game, taking on Army. Huge game. We've got Maddie Hudak, the sideline reporter. We've got Michael Arado, who's the director of the Fear the Wave NIL Collective. We've got Steve Barrios, the former player and legend who's been the broadcaster there for 4+ decades. So, a lot of great content at 6:30, getting you ready for the Wave.
Yep, big game tonight. Army's, 23rd ranked in the land. Tulane, a little setback last week against Memphis, sort of dashed any playoff hopes, but now I guess it's just you want to win a championship, if you're Tulane, if you're Sumrall, and you want to get to the better bowl game.
Correct. Look, let me say this. The American doesn't have the history of bowl tie-ins where you go, whoa, that's a name brand prestige game. So I think the biggest thing is winning a championship is important. John Sumrall said that this week. When he's 85 years old, when these players are 75 years old, they're going to have a ring and a trophy and pictures and remember, we won the conference championship. And that means something. And so to me, again, yes, whatever bowl game the fact that they're out of the playoffs now stinks, but winning the championship is important, and then I'll worry about what bowl game they're going to. But take care of business tonight because that's going to be historic if they can win 2 of the last 3. That's really special for a program that had sporadic success but has never experienced what they're experiencing right now.
We knew this 3-game run at the end was going to be tough. Navy, Memphis, Army. Navy wasn't hard, but Memphis proved to be. Army, I think, is going to be a tough ball game. 20 degrees up there? Something ridiculous like that?
How about this? Our meteorologist just did it. 27 degrees at kickoff with a feels like with the wind chill coming right off the water where
Hudson.
The Hudson right there where I believe it's called like Mikey Stadium. It's under construction right now, Army's famous stadium, but it's right on the Hudson. The wind chill's going to be 14 at kickoff.
Jeez and Pete's. That's harsh. That's harsh.
Yeah, 25 degrees with a wind chill of 14. I just saw her do it.
Sumrall is a hot commodity in 6 months, 8 months in Uptown. Purdue, North Carolina, others are looking at John Sumrall, right?
Yeah, look, he's the best young coach in college football. He's the best young up-and-coming coach. Age-wise, his background, he's already won. He went to Troy. He goes immediately to 2 conference championship games with Troy. He comes to Tulane. He's right back. People thought, Willie Fritz is leaving. They're losing a ton of players like Michael Pratt. Nope. Right back in the conference championship game. He's the best young coach in college. People don't realize he's the best young coach in college football. He's no questions asked, no doubt about it. And so, every year Tulane people need to get ready because there's going to be schools coming knocking. If it's not this year, it'll be next year or the next year. But there's going to be power conference schools with big money and big boosters that are coming to get him every year.
As long as he keeps doing what he's done at Troy and now at Tulane, he can wait for that perfect job, right? He doesn't just need to take a bigger job, any bigger job.
Sure, and that's why I would scratch, with all due respect to a school like Purdue, I would scratch Central Florida, first time in the Big 12, not like some historical marquee name, even though Central Florida's done some really good things. I think North Carolina is interesting, but obviously all the indications are is that they're all in on Bill Belichick and his son and trying to lure him. So I think that's going to put Sumrall on the back burner for them until they know what's going on. But I do think, I was told last week that North Carolina has interest in him. And I think that you've heard a lot of those rumblings and grumblings from the New Orleans media and North Carolina media because they're true. But again, I don't know if it's going to work out this year. But every year, as long as he keeps winning, there's going to be power teams that are coming to get him every year.
I know you're not a big fan of recruiting. LSU has like a top 6 or top 8 recruiting class, depending on where you look. A couple of things. Top 6, top 8 nationwide could mean 4th or 5th in the SEC, Fletcher. And they lost a few players that were committed. Well, a 5-star, the number 1 QB, the Underwood kid, a cornerback, a wide receiver. Some of the cream of their class, they lost a few of those players down the stretch. They did swing some offensive linemen from Florida State. I know you don't like recruiting, but, it took place yesterday, and I think LSU at least got a bunch of defensive linemen and O-linemen, and that's how you're going to win in the Southeastern Conference. I think the skill players, they're always going to be there. But if you get good O and D linemen, you can win.
Yeah, I agree. And look, and here's the thing. It's not that I don't like recruiting. It's that I feel like such an insane emphasis is put on it. And what you just said, and look, we can agree to disagree. When people say, they had the 6th best recruiting class, they're going to be no good. Look, that's the kind of stuff I hear, and I just shake my head. I remember there were people telling me, this Joe Burrow, he's a bridge quarterback. He threw 16 touchdowns his junior year. We got to wait till Nussmeier and these 5-star kids get there. These kids they're recruiting because this guy's a bridge quarterback. Well, that bridge quarterback that threw 15 touchdowns, threw 60 the next year, and is now one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. So, again, I'm not saying you don't have to recruit the good players, but everybody focuses on, we didn't get this guy, we didn't get that guy. Well, sometimes you get dudes and they don't turn out to be dudes. And sometimes you get a guy who's a good player who ends up becoming a great player. So, again, I think it's important. I understand it. I think it's crazy that we pay players now in NIL. Not crazy, but it's just, Brian Kelly said it the other day. It's not about building relationships and trust with the parents and the player. He goes, some programs don't recruit kids at all. And then they show up the week of with a bag of cash. We got an NIL deal for you, and it's the best one. Take the money. It's almost like a a semi-pro type situation, from the NFL. So I follow it. It's part of my job, but I don't put too big of an emphasis on LSU had a 6 recruiting class. That means they're going to be no good next year. I feel like LSU could still be great without the number 1 recruiting class in the country.
What kind of bowl is LSU going to?
Probably the Music City Bowl, I would guess. I mean, I don't think they're going to one of those New Year's Day games in Florida. So, I mean, I follow some of that too.
Could they play Tulane? Could they play Tulane in a bowl?
No, the only way they could play Tulane is if they went to a even lesser one.
Yeah.
Because I want to say that the Gasparilla Bowl in Florida has an SEC AAC tie.
Wow.
And I saw one that has Tulane facing Vandy. I would love to see some horse trading amongst the conferences and the schools to get a Tulane LSU bowl game, because it would make it, to me, very meaningful.
No, it really would. What's up with the black and gold? That loss just, narrows the playoff potential to almost 0.
Yeah, I mean, look, they could win. The division, again, is still woefully mediocre with the Falcons and the Bucks. There's no chalk that is outpacing everyone.
Yep.
So technically, the Saints are still if the Saints win out, they can go 9-8 and get into the playoffs. But the odds are very slim, and this is one of those forgettable weeks that the Saints went to the back burner because they're 4-8. The Giants are really bad at 2-10. The only real good storyline was Rizzy going home because he's a Jersey guy from right outside of New York City. But other than that, the Saints are kind of off the radar, more than they ever have been in recent years because of what's happening, firing the coach, and a 4th straight non-playoff season.
The suits upstairs said the Pelicans only have 4 wins, and we can't talk about them today.
We can talk about it. They got 5 wins. Actually, they won last night, but they're still pretty bad. At 5-18 is not good.
No. Fletch, always a pleasure. Catch you next week.
All right, Corey, thanks.
5-18. Apologies.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today, and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
They've only been baking that Leidenheimer French bread you love since 1896. Leidenheimer Baking Company. Yeah, Leidenheimer French bread in fine dining restaurants. The first thing that you taste at some of the finest restaurants in the city, Leidenheimer French bread. If it's an authentic New Orleans po' boy, it's on Leidenheimer French bread. Truly good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread, Leidenheimer Baking Company. Michael Hecht joins us again on a Friday. He's with Greater New Orleans Inc. He's also got a side gig the last few months, getting the city ready for the Super Bowl, knocking out a punch list. How you doing, Michael?
Doing great, man. Everybody needs a side hustle, Corey, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of just the emblem, the symbol would just be like pushing the grocery cart. You know, everybody's got to hustle these days. 4 or 5 gigs to put food on the table, Michael.
That's right. And I haven't really found my supplemental income yet from doing the Super Bowl gig. I guess, I don't know, maybe I'll get a ticket to the game or something.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, we're at a point now, Corey, where there's so much in our world where it's pretty clear that if you want something done, you just gotta do it yourself. I mean, you can kvetch about it and say, why isn't somebody else doing this? But you know what the reality is, man? Either you do it yourself or it doesn't get done.
Yep. No, you're so right. Where are we as far as that Super Bowl prep?
We're doing pretty good, man. All of the kind of the major projects are going now into their kind of final stage. So in this case, you know, the French Quarter, although the road work is starting, all the lights are getting put up, the sidewalks, the signs have been produced. So we're going to put the street signs back up. We're about to start a big effort on homeless rehousing in the French Quarter. So we're doing all right there. I mean, you know, we don't have a ton of time, so you know, we have to hope there's not some kind of crazy black swan event. But assuming that we don't have something like that, you know, I want to find some wood here, you know, or so there's some cardboard that counts. We're doing okay, so I'm feeling pretty chuffed. The homeless situation is going to work out. I assume that this garbage, you know, contract nonsense is going to get done because that's frustrating and worrying. But I think everybody knows that it needs to get done. Yeah, so you know, I think at this point there's crosswinds, but we're coming in for a landing. I can see the runway.
Is this court order about the state having to follow the city code on homeless encampments? Is that going to affect the homelessness situation? It appeared to already for Bayou Classic, will it for New Orleans Bowl, Sugar Bowl, the automotive convention, Super Bowl?
No, quite the opposite. It actually helps, right? You're saying, what? But I've been talking to folks about it, and the only thing that it actually says is that you have to give 24-hour notice before you move somebody, right? Well, that's actually good because some of the folks are going to move themselves. And that's better because the last thing that, that these guys want to be doing is, moving unhoused people. That's no fun for, the state troopers or anybody. So, no, all it means is you got to give 24-hour notice, and it's really not a big deal at all.
And you mentioned the garbage deal. I don't know if anyone cares right now about the long-term deal getting fixed or not. It's about the next few months. So what's the city going to do? Just extend the existing contract for a while?
Exactly.
Yep. Okay.
Exactly.
Good.
That's just going to happen. So that's not a big deal.
Yeah, no, good. That's good to hear. Hey, you mentioned lights. What are the lights all about, Michael?
So the lights, what are the lights all about? The lights. We're replacing all the lights in the French Quarter.
No, okay, nice. All the street
all
lights.
The lights, and then we're gonna put some cafe lights in the alleys. And what else are we doing? All the interstate lights. But the French Quarter, we have a $2 million lighting contract that we're executing right now.
Nice. Love to hear that. Michael Hecht's with us from Greater New Orleans Inc. Hey, I want to ask you about Meta in a second. Real quick, I got a couple of curveballs for you. You ready?
Please. Yeah.
UNO a couple of semesters ago was down to 6,600 students. Now it's like 6,200 last semester. That's about a third of what they were 20 years ago, nearly 18,000 pre-Katrina, almost 18,000. I mean, Michael, I never hear the mayor, the council talk about UNO. I never hear anyone talk about UNO. When it was under the LSU system, it was LSU first in Baton Rouge. UNO was an afterthought. Now it's under the UL system, and it's UL Lafayette first. UNO is an afterthought. UNO needs autonomy. UNO should be enrollment like 50,000 plus students. It should be the biggest school in the state. It's got a campus that's just ready for growth.
Massive.
Think about Central Florida and South Florida and Tampa and Orlando. They're like Ohio State size. They're like 70,000 students. It's the University of New Orleans. That alone should be a regional, national, and even international draw. It should be a monster and an economic engine. And I just don't get why this entity, this positive, we neglect it. We overlook this asset.
Yeah. Corey, I agree with you. I think that UNO should be one of the top urban research universities in the country, attracting all these international students who want to be part of it. I don't have a good answer for you on this one. I agree with you. I'm sorry. I wish I did.
No,
I actually just agree with you.
Might be something for the coalition to pick up on.
Yeah, and it's such a big, beautiful campus. No, I agree.
Hey, I had Tulane's Mark Davis on a phone call, not on the show. He was too busy to come on. But we talked about the Mid-Barataria Sediment Diversion Project. One thing he was talking about, if you forget about the project itself and the harm that's going to do to the coast and all of that, he was just talking about the message it sends to the business community, like, don't go to Louisiana for work because they might pull the plug on a project that you prepared your business for years into the future, where you invested in equipment and personnel and moving down here and offices in New Orleans and turning down other work because your plate was full, and then they pull the plug on a $3.1 billion project?
Yeah, that is, it's actually a valid point. Now, the good news is that I think it's going to go forward. I think there's going to be some compromise that is reached. And I think this is going to be some Sturm and Drang, mostly because, Corey, I can't see folks leaving $2 billion on the table. I mean, not to be crass about it, but that's what we're actually talking about. So I just don't see, I don't see it not happening.
I think it's going to be just scaled down, and with inflation costs, it's going to be a $2 billion instead of $3 billion and smaller.
Bingo. I mean, you've seen this movie before, right?
Just it's a depressing movie, though. It's like I don't watch it, It's like Braveheart or Schindler's List or
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm serious. Like Braveheart, Schindler's List. What was the Costner movie?
I don't know.
The one with the American West. It's just like they're incredible cinema. It's some of the best movies around, but they're depressing. And you know how they end. It's just hard. It's hard to watch. Gangs of New York. I have trouble watching Gangs of New York. I know how it ends. It's brutal. So I've seen this movie. It's tough, man. It's tough. Dances with Wolves. It's Dances with Wolves, man. I mean, because some of the best cinema ever, but it's it hurts.
Wow, Corey. Sorry, man. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. It's tough.
Cheer you up.
No, it's tough living down. It's hard living in New Orleans and giving a like caring. That's just hard.
Well, that's the problem, is that we care too much. Yeah. That's the problem. We just can't. It's New Orleans is everybody's Brokeback Mountain. We just can't quit it.
No, it's best just get drunk and not worry about it.
Well, that's oftentimes the solution.
Oh boy. All right, we covered homelessness, garbage. The garbage, the lights. Meta.
That little one.
What a grand slam home run. I mean, that's as big as it gets, Michael. 500 plus jobs, white collar, 80,000, $10 million facility in the poorest part of the state, one of the poorest parts of the country. I'm blown away. Governor Jeff Landry, congratulations. Wow.
Yeah, well, it's actually even a bigger deal than this, because one of the conversations that you and I have all the time on the show is, why don't we have car manufacturers, right? Why don't we have electric car manufacturers? And the reason is, back in the 80s, right, is that we had a governor that didn't like to fly. And so instead of talking to Mr. Toyota, he drove around in his motorcycle and got a law degree. I mean, that's just the truth of it. And so we missed the entire wave and everything that came after it. So the fact now that we're getting in at the beginning of the AI wave is significant for the whole state. That's, I think, the bigger thing. It's actually even bigger than this one project. So I give a ton of credit to the governor. I give a ton of credit to Louisiana Economic Development. And frankly, I give a lot of credit to Stephen Morey, who almost 20 years ago bought the land that they ended up taking, right? So if we hadn't owned that facility, that land up there, this wouldn't have happened. So there was maybe really a 2-decade backstory to this.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. It's a great story. It's an incredible win. I'm blown away in such a positive way. That's great. See, I'm out of my funk already, Michael.
See? Okay, we did it.
Yeah,
that was nice. See how nice that is?
Thanks, Meta. All right, Michael, have a great week. Talk to you next Friday, brother.
You too, brother. Appreciate you.
Yep, that's Michael Hecht, Corey Johnson with you. Don't move, New Orleans.
Hey, New Orleans, if you've ever wanted to experience life on St. Charles Avenue, now is your chance. The Grand Victorian, the ultimate bed and breakfast in the Garden District on the streetcar line. Built in 1893, this magnificent house will make your special weekend getaway special. To find out more, go to gvbb.com. That's gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian, where the locals go to get away.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward.
For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Already had a small Smoothie King Gladiator vanilla, bananas, unsweetened strawberry, some of that Gladiator protein powder. I got it at Smoothie King on Jefferson Highway across from Oshner. Not all Smoothie Kings are the same. Jay and his dad have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. They own 2 Smoothie Kings, the 2 Smoothie Kings. The 2 I go to, Jefferson Highway across from Oshner, and the old Metairie Smoothie King, Airline at LaBar, Airline by Causeway, by that Rouse's in that shopping center. Not all Smoothie Kings are the same. Far from it. Experience the best. Smoothie King, Jefferson Highway across from Oshner. Smoothie King, Old Metairie, Airline at LaBar by Causeway in that shopping center by the Rouse's. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Don't let that blue sky and that sun fool you out there. It's cold. It's cold. Low 50s right now. Going to get into the 40s overnight. When we wake up in the morning, a good 10 degrees colder than it is right now. Low 40s on the South Shore, mid to high 30s on the North Shore. Tomorrow, 40s and 50s. Sunday, 50s and 60s. Sunday looks really nice. But both days, when I say really nice temperature-wise, no rain, but the little cloud picture is, at weather.com, not the little sun picture. Like today and a couple of days ago, it was a sunny picture. Now it's the cloudy picture. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's the cloud and the rain. Supposed to get some rain on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. But tomorrow and Sunday looks nice, just sort of cloudy. 40s and 50s tomorrow, 50s and 60s on Sunday, but no rain expected. But who knows? Like I said last hour, they're like bookies in Vegas. It's the meteorologists. Sometimes it's incredible how accurate they are. And sometimes you're like, This morning I was listening to some station. They, I don't know if it was music or talk. I forget. I was just blowing through the dial. And it was one of those, recorded weather reports. I guess the meteorologist from like a TV station will record like 3 or 4 weather reports that station will rotate for like the next 4 hours or so. And it was about, cloudy, clouds should break around lunchtime, maybe a slight chance of rain. And it was totally blue skies. So just like what he or she was predicting and recording at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., what they thought was going to break up around 11 broke up around 8:30. No, it was blue skies and nice this morning. Point is, the weather can change quickly, even for those meteorologists doing those quick reports. Hey, New Orleans. Hey, Baton Rouge. Perfect weekend to knock out that indoor or outdoor paint project. Helm Paint and Decorating will help steer you in the right direction. High quality Benjamin Moore paint, lifetime warranty. You'll never, ever have to paint your house again unless you want to change the color. And because it's Helm Paint and Decorating, it's affordable. You can do exactly that. All the paint, all the supplies, plus free 2-hour delivery so you or your crew can keep working. 7 locations in Metro New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore. 4 Metro Baton Rouge locations. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, do it once, do it right. Helm Paint and Decorating. Hey, Baton Rouge, free pickup and delivery. Free 2-hour delivery, I should say. That applies to like West Baton Rouge Parish, like Bruley and Port Allen. And not only going east to like Prairieville, going east to like Gonzales. So if you got a paint project in Gonzales, I don't know, Highland Road, Choctaw, Perkins, call one of the Helm locations in Baton Rouge and they'll deliver it within 2 hours to Gonzales, to Bruley, to Port Allen over in West Baton Rouge. The best bank of BR, brah. No, they got you covered in New Orleans and Baton Rouge. Helm Paint and Decorating. Harry Connick Jr. says he should not be on the New Orleans Walk of Fame. Others far more worthy, he says. Names that are conspicuously absent from the list. He's right. I said this before. He's right on the money. I said like about Trombone Shorty. I bet if you ask Trombone Shorty, should he be on the list or it's probably premature, and here's 10 other musicians, he'd be like, of course. Yes. There's at least 10 other musicians. Yes. I mean, how is Ellis Marsalis not on that list? Because the list isn't properly done. It isn't the vetting process of who's on a board that decides this, if there is even a board. It might just be the mayor and Master P. Who knows? But the idea is great. The artwork's even great. I don't have any problem with the idea. And I don't know if it's Master P so much as the mayor, but I mean, you got to figure a little bit Master P when he puts himself on the top 50 and the mayor puts herself there. You got to at least have the, decency to recuse yourself from being on the list. Like after I retire from being on this board, got this thing jump started, maybe when they're adding another 50 or 50 after that, they can put me on the list. No, Harry Connick Jr. is right. He shouldn't be on the first 50. He's right. I like that. Humble and right on the money. He's like, there's so many more people. He mentions like Ellis Marcellus, Professor Longhair, James Booker. Those are just folks that play the piano. Got to be another half dozen musicians or more. Blue Boy, you're deserving of being on the list more than the mayor. Blue Boy, I think that's right. I think you've contributed more to New Orleans in a positive way, something tangible than the mayor. I agree with you, Blue
You're
Boy.
on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Barone in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. Then we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Ford F-150, number one seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
One hour already in the books. Fridays with Fletch. Fletcher Mackel has come and gone. Michael Hecht, Greater New Orleans Inc. Michael Hecht has come and gone. Drew Brees, number 9, former Saints quarterback, coming and going as we speak. There he is, and there he goes. Adios, number 9. Thanks for the intro. 5 o'clock Power Hour Fantasy Friday edition of the program. It's a little bit after 5 p.m. on a Friday. Toot, toot, we blow the 5 o'clock whistle. Got to put the spotlight on this very time of the week. 100% of the work week in the books. 100% of the weekend smack dab in front of you. We often overlook this little time slot right now. I like recognizing it. No, it's like, yes, man, work week's done. Entire weekend's in front of us. Excellent, excellent. So we recognize it, put the spotlight on it by blowing the 5 o'clock whistle. Toot, toot. The 5 o'clock whistle appropriately brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City, as New Orleans as it gets. As New Orleans as it gets. Just a bunch of yaddy New Orleans characters in there all the time, sitting at the bar, cutting up. And then it's just a great atmosphere inside Katie's or outside, outdoor dining, indoor dining, flat screen TVs with your favorite sports teams and more. Yeah, more is better, more of the good things. That's what Scott Craig always says, owner, operator, head chef. And you never know what Scott's bringing in, especially on a weekend, a Friday night. Could be soft shell crabs, flounder, pompano. You never know. Katie's in Mid-City, Iberville, corner Talamacus, the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. Katie's in Mid-City, as New Orleans as it gets. It is a Yat Fest at Katie's. Fantasy Friday, nice sunny day as we fade towards nighttime. Standard daylight, say whatever time you can have it. I want daylight savings time. I want it to get dark a little after 6, not a little after 5 this time of year. Anyway, it was sunny and nice earlier today. It's still nice, but it's cold out there. Don't let the blue sky and sunny skies and this, fading into a nice dusk right now. Don't let it fool you. It's cold outside. Low 50s, about to fade into the 40s. When we wake up tomorrow morning on the South Shore, it will be in the low 40s. And if there's any breeze at all, it'll feel like the 30s. Colder on the North Shore, obviously. Tomorrow, 40s and 50s. Sunday, 50s and 60s. We might hit 70, 71 degrees on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, at least according to the meteorologists, a pretty good chance of rain on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to start next week. Better than the weekend. Tomorrow, just sort of cloudy, but no rain expected, 40s and 50s. Sunday, cloudy, no rain expected, 50s and 60s. So it should be a nice weekend where we can get out and enjoy it. Might need a jacket or a sweatshirt or sweater or hoodie or whatever. Maybe at night, taking a walk, walking the dogs. If you're going to be outside any extended period of time, you might want to wear, the bigger coat, gloves, scarf, wool hat, all that kind of good stuff. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. It's no fantasy. The Grand Victorian on St. Charles Avenue, the ultimate bed and breakfast in the Garden District on St. Charles Avenue, on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line. Take the streetcar to Uptown. Take the streetcar to downtown, Warehouse District, French Quarter. Or walk up and down St. Charles Avenue, quick to Britannia, Magazine, historic homes, shops, restaurants, all of it. What a great way to stay in New Orleans. Stay somewhere special, somewhere grand, the Grand Victorian. Their website is gvbb.com, 4 letters, like Grand Victorian Bed Breakfast, gvbb.com. If you're listening or watching from outside New Orleans, the Grand Victorian is a great place to stay when visiting the city. And it's not just for visitors from out of town. The ultimate staycation for locals to enjoy the city, staying on St. Charles Avenue for that special weekend getaway. And speaking of special, the Super Bowl room still available at the Grand Victorian. Valentine's Day weekend, guys. How special would that be at the Grand Victorian? Room still available. French Quarter Fest, Jazz Fest, rooms still available at the Grand Victorian. Mardi Gras is sold out. These other events, they'll all sell out. They always do. It's the Grand Victorian. gvbb.com to book a room. gvbb.com, the Grand Victorian on St. Charles Avenue in the Garden District. Tough to do any better than that. Corey Johnson with you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, I mentioned Fridays with Fletch last hour. Michael Hecht, Greater New Orleans Inc. Coming up in about 5 minutes, we'll go to the Carrollton neighborhood, the Riverbend. Frank Brigsten, James Beard award-winning chef. Frank Brigtsen's going to join us on the program, talking food. I had some business to knock out on the North Shore. I ended up popping into Gallagher's 527. I had to restrain myself. I got a cup of gumbo, seafood gumbo to start, that LaRousse crab meat St. Francis, that piping hot jumbo lump crab meat from Louisiana in a ramekin with all kind of nice seasonings and spices, just incredible. And then got the shish kebab, beef tenderloin shish kebab, sizzling in butter. Comes to your plate just sizzling in butter. Super hot plate. I mean, you can cook the meat on the side of the plate. It's so hot. No, just really good. That crab meat St. Francis is incredible. No, we're so lucky. We don't, eat to live. We live to eat. We look forward to like lunch and dinner. It's one of the things I have Bradley Schneller on Thursdays from Stacked Coaching for about 10 minutes. And he talks about not only fitness, but nutrition. And he talks about how every meal doesn't have to be great. It could be a banana and a few slices of like some deli turkey or something. And it makes sense. He's right. But boy, in New Orleans, it's hard to pass up a good meal when it's lunch or dinner time and there's so many choices, so many options for a good meal. And then it's like a double, 2 birds with one stone in a bad way, like it's a double problem. Then you're getting, do I knock out the whole portion of this fantastic dish that I'm getting from some fantastic restaurant in New Orleans? No, it's hard to like, hey, I only should eat this amount. I mean, I'll look at a plate of food that I'll get from a restaurant. I'll be like, I can see what I'm supposed to eat. And then afterwards, I'm like, whoops. No, it's hard to discipline yourself and eat what you're supposed to eat. It's hard in New Orleans to not fill up. Like Hey, if you can figure out where like 70% of the full tank is, you're in great shape. If you can figure that out, wow, I'm at like 70% of full. If I eat, another 50% of what I just did, I'll be full. I'll be really stuffed. But I'm content. I really don't need any more food. I guess you're not content. I'm not. Because after I'm full, I'm like, all right, what am I eating that's sugary, like ice cream or dessert or some pie or cake or something? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Fantasy Friday edition of the program every day. This show on radio, television, on YouTube. Brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner. Home of the big store, Lamarck Ford. Home of the #1 Lincoln dealership in the state. On Jefferson Highway in Elmwood, Lamarck Crescent City Ford. The truck, van, SUV dealership for you business owners. Commercial vehicles at Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood, Harahan, Jefferson Highway. Every day this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner. I-10 at Williams on the car corner. Right on the corner, right on the price. And the commercial truck, van, SUV dealership for the Crescent City. Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway. Yeah, you're right. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. When we come back, Chef Frank Brigsten joins us.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 4-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river.
With 60, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any store or online at rouses.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Total maintenance key. Total maintenance. Total maintenance key. Total maintenance. Total maintenance key. TM-AC.com. Total maintenance key. TM-AC.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LaBarre by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks so much for joining us, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. We go to the Riverbend. Frank Brigsten joins us from his restaurant. How you doing, Frank?
I'm great. Where you at, Corey? TGIO!
Thank goodness, huh? The weekend's upon us.
Beautiful weekend. Thanksgiving's done. We're heading to Christmas.
Yep, no, exactly. It just keeps rolling along. Hey, the seasons change. Anything seasonal changing with food lately, or is it about to happen or anything like that?
Well, I think, normally this time of year, towards the end of December, crab meat will get tight. That's one thing that always happens. Oysters just get better every day. Shrimp, always good. We're getting beautiful speckled trout from the East Coast every day. I just walked out of the kitchen. Chef Nick has a fresh 3-gallon batch of filet gumbo with chicken and andouille sausage, and it is certainly gumbo weather.
Yep. Yeah.
We had Thanksgiving turkey gumbo last week, so now we're back to the chicken. Same recipe, but one customer who eats with us regularly ordered a quart to go when she made her reservation.
That ordered the turkey one?
No, the chicken one. She ordered it on the phone when she made her reservation. We're coming to eat, but I want a quart of gumbo to go.
Wow, that's fantastic. No, because it's cold. She's smart.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so good. It's piping hot, and then it's comfort food. It's so flavorful. It's the best of all worlds. You got to love that gumbo.
Yes, indeed. I took a quart home Tuesday night and had that for dinner. It was just right.
That's fantastic. Frank Brigtsen's with us. What's some other stuff that'll keep you warm that you got going?
Well, the hot dish right now, one of the hot dishes is the roast duck, which we do all year round, and we rotate the sauces on it. Right now we're doing classic duck à l'orange. This is citrus season here in New Orleans. We got the Louisiana navel oranges, and as always, served with dirty rice. Duck, dirty rice, and orange sauce, all in the same bite. Oh my goodness!
Wow, that is a good one. Hey, is the butternut bisque on the menu? Of course.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Always a big seller. One of our signature dishes. If we don't have it, people will throw stones at me. So, we always have that. Another seasonal dish is our pork chop version right now. Pan-roasted pork chop with braised Napa cabbage and an apple cider pan gravy. And that's a great fall, early winter type dish, and that's selling very well as well.
The fillets on the menu, the Angus filet with that sauce.
Yes, indeed. We have certified Angus beef, a 6-ounce filet, topped with Marchand du Vin sauce made with tasso.
Yummy.
And garnished with thinly sliced fried shallot rings.
Wow. Unbelievable. What are we missing?
Yeah.
Seafood platter, nothing fried on that at all. Nothing fried.
No, nothing fried. The seafood platter is always a delight. You get a taste of 5 different things. We're doing grilled drumfish with sauteed crab meat and lemon crab sauce, shrimp cornbread with jalapeno smoked corn butter cooked to order, fennel baked oyster LaRousse with shrimp and crab meat.
Wow.
And a little cup of blackened tuna fish salad, which is really fun and delicious.
That cornbread is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, you can't beat it. And when crawfish tails come around in February, probably we'll do crawfish cornbread.
Wow.
Instead of shrimp. Yeah, that's my favorite.
It's tough to beat. Frank Brigsten.
I'm working on too, Corey, for next week. By Thursday, we should have lobster bisque on the menu.
Wow.
I wanted to do some, holiday fun, different, luxurious type dishes, and this is one of them. It's the way I make it is a 3-day process. So I get the lobsters in Tuesday and start working on the stock, and by Thursday it should be ready, and we'll have it for the weekend. Lobster bisque.
What's the process quickly, Frank? Like an abridged version.
Well, one thing I do that's kind of unique is I make 2 stocks. I separate the carapace, the big shell, the head shell, from the body, the legs, and I make a stock with the shells only first because they take up a lot of volume in the pot, and I use that as what we call a mother stock. So I take that stock and then make a second stock with the bodies. The legs with all the roe and coral in there, all that goodness. I smash those up and hit it with that mother stock and make a second stock. And by this time, it's like so full of lobster flavor. And then we do a classic French bisque, onions, celery, seasonings. I use herbs de Provence, some brandy, and there's always a little tomato in lobster bisque. And I took a tip from Chef Jacques Pepin, the way he makes it. Instead of tomato, he uses Bloody Mary mix. So I use Zing Zing Bloody Mary mix to give it that tomato balance.
Wow.
And it's mostly for color, but when you use Bloody Mary mix, it really adds a little a zest to it. And then everything is pureed. You also, in the classic lobster bisque, you add some cooked rice, just a little bit of cooked rice, and then when you puree it, the rice gives it body. And oh my God, it is just liquid gold. And so I'm looking forward to that next week. And we'll have some other holiday specials as we go along. We're not doing Réveillon this year, but we're going to have some special dishes to celebrate the season.
Nice. How are you guys looking tonight and tomorrow night, Frank?
I believe there's some spots in the second seating, Corey, tonight and tomorrow, and that is 7:30, 8 o'clock. You can give Mona a call. She's on the phone right now.
861-7610. 861-7610 is the number at Brigtson's. Frank, before we let you go, how should folks finish up their meal at Brigtson's? So many good choices on dessert.
Yeah, I think today, I'm not saying it was cold, Corey, but I just put the last block on my igloo at home. So I would definitely start with soup or gumbo today. Butternut shrimp bisque or filet gumbo. The sweetbreads, I've gotten so many compliments on this week. Sauteed sweetbreads with mushrooms, capers, lemon roasted garlic butter. The roast duck, the pork chop, or also the speckled trout meuniere with roasted pecans, as always, making people happy. We have seasonal bread pudding. We have sweet potato bread pudding with pecan praline sauce. And the bread pudding is made with a puree of candied sweet potatoes with lemon and orange in it. So it has some bright flavors to it. Really, really nice.
What's the creme brulee flavor?
Lemon icebox creme brulee.
Nice.
And I should also mention, if you or Christmas shopping for your family or friends or for yourself, go to Brigstens.com, and we have now e-cards, e-gift cards available. We also have the physical card, too. If you want to order it online, we can mail it to you. But you can get an e-card without leaving your home and give that to someone and make them happy. So gift cards at Brigstens.com.
Brightsons with an S on the end, no apostrophe. Brightsons.com. Gift cards available. The phone number's 861-7610. Don't forget about the pecan pie, Frank.
Oh, yeah, we always have that. I forget about that.
Chocolate cake? Chocolate cake?
Yes, absolutely. Double chocolate cake with chocolate sauce. And our pecan pie. The pecans we use are Bergeron brand from New Roads, the best pecan in the land.
Boy, you don't mention some of the items I love, and someone gets really upset.
Barbecue shrimp.
Oh, boy. All right. You're the man, Frank.
I love you, Corey. I love you, New Orleans. Have a great weekend and celebrate what's good in life with your family and friends. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
That's Frank Brigsten. We'll see him next Friday. Thanks again, Frank. 861-7610 is the number at Brightson's. 861-7610 to book a reservation. They're open Tuesday through Saturday night. And Frank said it looks like there's some openings tonight and tomorrow night, which is rare. 861-7610, Brightson's in the Riverbend, Dante Street. So good. And priced right. Like, appetizers, salads, soups, desserts should probably be like $3-4 more each. And then entrees, maybe like $5 to $8 more each. And no one would be complaining. No one would go like, what the hell? Why is this place expensive? They'd be like, that's the right price. No, it's a little underpriced in my opinion. Frank's very aware of that, very conscious of that. No, I appreciate that. Are you kidding me? Corey Johnson with you. Oh, Michael Hecht joined us last hour. That segment is always brought to you by Latrim, the global manufacturing giant. A new year is upon us. Get a new job, a new career. Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Go to the website right now, latrim.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com. Your cool spot. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at La Barre by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Hey, New Orleans, if you've ever wanted to experience life on St. Charles Avenue, now is your chance. The Grand Victorian, the ultimate bed and breakfast in the Garden District on the streetcar line. Built in 1893, this magnificent house will make your special weekend getaway special. To find out more, go to gvbb.com. That's gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian, where the locals go to get away.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Barone in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program, the 5 o'clock powwow. We're heading to the weekend in style. Boy, it was a nice sunny day. Going to be a nice cool evening, kind of cold tonight. If you're outside for an extended period of time, walking the dog, out with friends in the yard, you're probably going to need a big coat and Maybe even a hat and some gloves, a scarf if you really want to be comfortable. It's cold outside. Low 50s, going to dip into the 40s overnight when we wake up in the AM. Around 41, 42 degrees on the South Shore. Mid 30s on the North Shore. Tomorrow on the South Shore, 40s and 50s. I doubt we hit 60 degrees tomorrow. On Sunday, 50s and 60s. We might hit 70 degrees on Sunday. So 40s and 50s tomorrow, 50s and 60s on Sunday. I don't think there's any rain chance, but just, you get the little photo when you go to like weather.com. It doesn't have just like the sun out. It's got like a cloudy day. I don't think any rain, but cloudy both Saturday and Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the weather folks predict rain in and around Metro New Orleans. Speaking of this weekend, checking out some college football championship games like tonight, Tulane. They're at West Point. It's going to be like 25 degrees on the field with a wind chill of like 12 or 15 degrees tonight. The Wave in just a little while on ABC, nationwide television audience at Army for the American Athletic Championship. And then ideally a better bowl for the Green Wave. John Summerall's done a masterful job. If you want a place to check out the game tonight with like-minded Green Wave fans, Tracy's is the place. Tracy's on Magazine has a huge Tulane presence, and they'll have the game on the big monitor, the 120-inch bad boy downstairs, and they'll have everything else you want to watch, sports or anything, on all the other flat-screen TVs, too many to count. And at Tracy's, there's an actual full kitchen with food you actually want to eat. No, it's the ultimate sports bar. It's the all-new Tracy's. Bigger and better than ever. A few blocks down from the original. New location, 2 stories, big balcony overlooking Magazine Street. Magazine at Pleasant, between Washington and Louisiana. Caddy corner from that Bromart. Tracy's. Legendary Tracy's, Magazine at Pleasant. Yeah, tonight for Tulane, for the Pelicans, for the Saints on Sunday. Tracy's on Magazine. All your college bowl games, Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Harry Connick Jr. says he should not be on the New Orleans Walk of Fame. Mayor LaToya Cantrell, Master P. I don't know if they came up with the idea. Somebody did. I think it's a good idea. The artwork is pretty good. The fleur-de-lis with the names, it's like a copy of the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's about the most significant New Orleanians in our history. And the initial 50 was a little ridiculous. I love Hokie Guyjon. Hokie Guyjon was a great Saints player, fullback, running back, all heart. He's like Steve Gleason, just like Steve Gleason. Like the physical talent of Hokie Guyjon, Steve Gleason, their physical talent, their physical size, they should probably have never been anywhere near a National Football League field. But because they maximized the physical talent they had, 110%, and they mentally and heart were 1,050%, they made it in the NFL for years. Now, folks like to make both those players into like some of the greatest Saint players, like some of the greatest achievers on the field in Saints history. And I think if you ask Steve Gleason, he would probably tell you, no, they're better Saints special teams players than me. I was a pretty good special teams player. But I don't think Steve Gleason was like some out of this world, off the charts special teams player. I think he was a very good special teams player. I think he was a great locker room presence. I think he was a leader. I think he earned his position on the squad. And he was a really good special teams player. But he wasn't the greatest ever, and he wasn't just this all-pro special teams player. And Hokie Gajan wasn't the greatest running back. So I think if you ask these guys, Hokie, if you could, Steve, you can, they would agree with me. Harry Connick Jr. is like, I don't deserve to be on this Walk of Fame, not the initial 50. He goes, besides a bunch more musicians, I mean, piano players, Ellis Marsalis, Professor Longhair, James Booker, just to name a few. So Harry Connick Jr. is like, don't put me on this. There's too many people that it's like, I'm embarrassed. His quote was, others that are far more worthy, names that are conspicuously absent from the list. Conspicuously, like it's glaring, it's a major oversight, it's crystal clear that these names should be on the list in front of me. No, I think a pretty humble gesture by Harry Connick Jr. He's right. He's 110% right. I think one day Harry Connick Jr. is on the Walk of Fame when you're adding another 50 on that. You know, you're going from 51 to 100, 100 to 150, 151 to 200 when you're adding the next 50 or the next 25, however they would do it. This is the initial 50. Now, right when the list came out, I was like, there's probably about 25 people that are fully worthy to be on the list, 25. And then there's about a dozen that don't deserve to be on the list, simply aren't worthy to be on the list. And then there's another dozen that at the very least, very premature, like you put them on the list down the road. No, it was just, who put the list together? Was it a board? Was it people like me that not only can be fair and objective, and it doesn't matter if it's black, white, you know, male, female, none of that matters to me. Just people that are worthy. I can be fair and objective. I know the city, its history, its culture. You want people like me and like-minded people like me. A few dozen that come up with the list, and it's important. And you whittle it down. You narrow it down. I mean, there's top 50. How is Professor Longhair not on that? How is Ellis Marsalis? My God, he's top 20. He might be top 10. It's not on the initial top 50. And then somebody like DJ Khaled or Mia X. I'm not knocking them. Mia X especially. She's a native, still here. You know, Khaled's gone. They're both from here. I'm not saying they don't deserve to be on that list eventually, but that's premature for sure. Like Cedric Richmond and Troy Carter, the politicians, so premature. Then there's some that are just sort of boggling, sort of. Yeah, like Todd Graves from Raising Cane's. He doesn't even show up for the ceremony. He's like a Baton Rouge guy. Born here, but no, never was here. Clyde Drexler, the NBA Hall of Famer. I love Clyde Drexler, but born here and left. It's like a Texas guy. Reese Witherspoon, the actor. She's fantastic, does a great job. You know, but no real connections to New Orleans. Those are just strange. So anyway, Harry Connick Jr. saying the right things. Like, there are people far more worthy. The names that are conspicuously absent from the list, like Ellis Marsalis, Professor Longhair, James Booker, those are just pianists. Nice, humble job, Harry Connick Jr. You're right.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian. Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Chapatoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's 7 locations in Orleans Parish, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like...
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Ford F-150, number one seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because our team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason. We're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Clean has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, Lebanon's Cafe. In the Carrollton section of Uptown on the streetcar line, Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today, and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Like the Tulane Green Wave American Athletic Championship game in just a few minutes on ABC, nationwide television audience. They're up on the Hudson, about 30 miles north of New York City at West Point. Temperature supposed to be about 25 degrees with a wind chill of around 15. That's a big advantage for Army. They're kind of used to those conditions somewhat. But also Tulane plays great defense, and they have a quarterback that is not a pocket passer necessarily. Definitely can play from the pocket, but isn't restricted, can move. So I think Tulane can make an adjustment and play in that. Great running back in Hughes. Men said QB. They've got athletic wide receivers and skill position guys. They've got big offensive and defensive linemen. Army likes to run the football. So we'll see. Kicking off in a little while. Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, a great place to check out the ball game with like-minded fans. Hey, if you're just joining us, you missed a whole lot already. 4 o'clock hour, Fridays with Fletch, Fletcher Mackle. Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc. joined us. That Meta deal up in Holly Ridge, Louisiana, east of Monroe, is such a huge get for Jeff Landry in Louisiana. It could be like a $10 billion investment, 4 million square foot facility built from the ground up. And they're bulldozers clearing the land right now. This isn't like, the studios out in New Orleans East across from the plaza at the old Walmart, Sam's Club site, the Six Flags site. It's this is real. It's moving. They've just announced it, and they've already got bulldozers moving dirt already. About 4 million square feet, maybe $10 billion in construction, 500 jobs to start, 80 to 90,000 each, in one of the poorest towns in Louisiana, surrounded by 4 of the poorest parishes in Louisiana. The per capita income's about $25,000. It's white-collar jobs. It's just, honestly, I have to applaud Governor Jeff Landry, his economic development team. It's not a home run. It is a grand slam home run. It's clean jobs, not some industrial cancer-causing toxin releases on the Mississippi River, some oil, gas, chemical job. And I'm for those jobs. But it's not that. It's not blue-collar. It's white-collar jobs. It's up in northeast Louisiana, outside of Monroe, in a very poor part of the state, one of the poorest parts of the United States. It's a huge company, Meta, like Facebook parent company, Instagram parent company. It's billions of dollars. It's hundreds of jobs, white collar, 80,000 plus a year. It's mind blowing. I mean, again, applaud, congratulations to Governor Jeff Landry and his economic team. What's that, Blue Boy? It's almost not believable. No, you're right. But already clearing the land, green light, everything appears to be a go. Lots of jobs, thousands during construction, 1,000 in direct jobs to go with the 500. Grand slam, home run. Have a great weekend, everyone. See you Monday, straight up 4 o'clock right here. Monday, be here.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.